भारती न्यूज, सीधा, सटीक और निष्पक्ष।
Hello, good evening viewers. Welcome to Bharati News. Today we have a guest, Mohamed Kassim, and the major question about the 35-year experience of microelectronics in Malaysia, especially with the Ministry of Science.
Yes.
What about the basic experience to work with Ministry of Malaysia and Science? How they are different from India?
Okay. Basically, the organization I was working is dealing with research. It's a government R&D arm for doing research in IT, microelectronics, and many other areas, related areas basically. So besides doing research for the government, they also do some niche areas in research. In terms of qualification, basic degree will do, but they do encourage post graduates as well. Okay.
How can you see the differences between the research structure in India and the research structure in Malaysia?
I think in terms of the research structure, more or less same, not much. Is that how depth the research you are doing, to what level?
Some new technologies which are emerging in microelectronics.
So these things are nowadays more focused on AI. So the government also has some policy on AI. So they are encouraging a lot of organizations, including the service sector, to move on and use AI to increase the productivity.
AI is a very important part of electronics, microelectronics in the future days.
Yes, yes.
So how can you see India stand in the number of hierarchy in this electronic management, monopoly of the electronic management?
What I can say is most of the countries are pushing this AI. The only thing is certain countries are focusing on certain sectors. Some are focusing on education, some are focusing on trade, how to use AI for trade, some even on agriculture and things like that. And these are all applications, but on top of that, they are also building the infrastructure, because if you want to use AI, a better application, you need to have a good infrastructure. For example, a 5G or 6G and things like that. So some countries are also focusing on building the infrastructure. At the same time, they develop the application. And on the other hand, they also improve or develop the education, because to develop all this, you need people, resources. So you need to also improve or upgrade the level of education in the AI, so that you have sufficient people to develop all these applications. So that's how the scenario or what's going on around the world. That's what I can see.
What's your opinion about these kind of session organized by Bharati Vidyapeeth and IEEE? How can these sessions help for students and as well as researchers also?
Okay, I think we can look at a few perspectives, because I think most of the students, they are mostly I can say they are based on what knowledge they get in the classroom. It's very seldom they go out. And secondly, this kind of interviews will help them to give exposure what's happening outside the classroom. And also indirectly, it will give some kind of motivation, inspiration for them to work harder to achieve whatever their targets or goals.
Is there any message you want to deliver to the student of electronics and engineering for their future perspective?
Okay, so I think what I may suggest, because if you see some areas are already many people moving into that. So please think about some niche areas.
Exactly.
Niche areas where it might be a new areas, and it might be very challenging, but it has a good prospect in near future. Okay, this including things like agriculture and many other areas, financial and things like that, because most of the students, when they graduate, they only think to become an engineer, lawyers or doctors and things like that. So what I'm suggesting, please think outside the box, so that you can explore the niche areas, which has a lot of potentials. So they need to look into this. so that it's good opportunities for them.
You highlighted agriculture more than 2 times. It's very good because you should have to think about that we can connect technology and microengineering, micro-technology to the agriculture. But the current situation in India is not good for farmers. Past 1 year, Karnataka faces 825 suicides of farmers in 1 year. Maharashtra have a same figure, but it's more than 1,000. So how can you see Indian farmers if they are well known to technology, they are used to these kind of technology, and the student of technology and engineering are emerge with the soul of farming kind of situations? How can you do that?
Okay, I've given a couple of talks also about this. So what I can say, farming is not just we grow some vegetables, we eat every day, then the next day we continue. It becomes a survival because, in other words, they call this is a food security. Because if you see a couple of years, like even in some countries, they couldn't get wheat, or the price of wheat expensive because there's a war in the countries which export the wheat. So what it says is that you cannot depend on other sources. You yourself need to have certain level of growth of these crops so that you can sustain. Okay, coming back to the farming, what normally we use the term is smart farming.
Yeah, exactly.
The problem now is the amount of land is becoming smaller because the land are used for development, schools, roads, buildings and so forth. Okay, that's one. Second, the number of farmers becoming less because if a farmer have 5 children, only 1 or 0 want to become a next farmer.
Last 25 years,
yes,
more than 1.5 CR farmers refuse to farming.
Yes,
it's a big number.
Yes. So the number of farmers are becoming smaller. And the other factor is the climate change. We cannot predict nowadays. What we can predict 25 years, we cannot predict now.
Exactly.
You go one hour is rain. The next hour, same street, the rain stop.
Exactly.
The next hour, you can see a thunderstorm and like that. So you cannot predict,
Exactly.
So what the impact of this is, you have problem agriculture. So we are thinking of way how to use technology so that we can get all these issues resolved. So for land, what they are trying to do, they are using a concept of precision agriculture. That means you use a small piece of land, but you get the same amount of harvest like you use a big area. What you get in 5 acres, maybe now you can get in 1 acre. So the issue of land can be resolved. Okay, small size of land, but big harvest. Okay. Then the number of people is reducing. So what we are doing now is using the technology, for example, smart tractors, all these things. Because with this technology, instead of using 4 people, we may need only 1. You can reduce. Okay, we have done some project. We managed to reduce from 4 to 1, and the output, the hours is much more with the conventional method. Okay. Then the climate change, what we can do is, we can do things like control environment. You know, you heard about greenhouse?
Yeah.
So you can grow all these things in a controlled environment where the outside factor does not affect much. But of course, like greenhouse, the initial investment is a bit...
outside climate is not that much favorable for the foods and seeds which we grow.
What we do, for example, to grow like chili or cabbage or salad, mushroom, you can do in a greenhouse.
In greenhouse.
Okay. So this is what I'm trying to say. We can use the technology to solve these 3 components. One is the resources, the people. Second, the land. Third is the climate change. Of course, in certain things, the climate change is a big storm or what we call a typhoon or what, we cannot do anything. Even the greenhouse also will be washed out. But with the current condition, the greenhouse and the production is throughout the year. You no need to wait for a certain season. So this is how we can use technology to overcome.
Maximum resources की capability को use कर सकते.
Yes.
The people, the country who have less number of population comparative to India, and doing good in technology and these kind of infrastructure.
Yes, yes.
Smart farming
Yes,
also.
yeah.
In a medical sector, they are doing also good.
Yeah.
Why we are not that much capable, and what are the major aspects you think?
Like in certain countries, for example, like smart farming, what they do, the government gives some incentives or encouragement. So what they do, in some places, for the community, they give some grants. So the community can start their own. So once the community starts something, when the others see this, they will follow suit. Same with the farmers, because
It's a kind of self-help group.
yes.
Exactly.
The farmers, they have to see something on the ground. You cannot show them the PowerPoint presentation or some books or things like that. They don't trust. So you have to put something on the ground, show to them, this is what we have done, this is what you'll get.
Learning by doing.
Yes. Then they will follow suit, and you can deploy throughout the country or many places.
They are good to identifying the problem.
Yes.
As I think.
Yes.
We are lacking here.
Yes. Exactly.
It's good to know that IEEE is working for the agriculture sector
Yes.
as well also the medical sector. The experience of 35 year you cannot accumulate in a one podcast. So we will try to communicate on every aspects of
Yes.
microengineering and microtechnology.
Sure.
One last question is totally based on IEEE. How can you see IEEE's contribution in the developed India?
Okay, IEEE, they involved in many things. One of the things is like a standard. You know, the Wi-Fi we are using, the 802.11. So it was developed by IEEE, but many people don't aware that. They just on the phone and use it, but inside that, the standard. So they are developing a lot of standards. Few thousand standards are in the pipeline. So I'm sure some of these standards will be very useful, including the smart farming. They're also doing some standards. Okay, so they are into a lot of areas. So I think once the standards are established and fully deployed, they'll be useful for, okay. That's about the standard. Beside that, IEEE also do activities, give grants to the chapters. Like in India, we have computer society have 14 chapters. So these chapters could apply for grant and do some activities. Okay, smaller activities. So the one I mentioned just now, to convince the farmers, they can do a small greenhouse, okay, and do some cultivation, and then this can be used as a case study to attract the farmers, to show the farmers this is how the sensor works, this is how you benefit from doing this amount of harvest you will get, and things like that.
It's a kind of workshop for them.
Yes. The hands-on workshop. They can come, feel, do the thing. Okay, so these are some of the things IEEE can help to do.
Thank you so much, sir.
Yeah, thank you.
And thanks for the viewers also. If you like this podcast, please comment below. And if you have any query related to these topics, you can ask in the comment section. If you like this podcast, please subscribe Bharti News. Stay with us. Thank you so much.